the past, 20 years, I think, if I remember right, Anlene has been, this year is also a very special year for Anlene because it's a 25-year celebration for the brand. So 91 is when the brand started its journey, so it's a 25 years old brand. And over these 25 years, especially when I look at Indonesia, the work that has been done here is we have encouraged more than 200,000 people to move for bone health. Every year we've been having events where we create awareness. In fact, around early April, we had an event on the car-free day in Sudirman where we talked about a move challenge, and April has been declared as a month where we had multiple initiatives to encourage consumers to come out from a sedentary lifestyle and invest about 30 minutes of their time to move and become active. And that is something which has resulted in good awareness, and in the past also we had multiple such activities. And to the evidence that I talked about, one of the things that we did early on when we wanted to create awareness for osteoporosis is to use this bone health through which consumers go through an experience of measuring bone health density, and that bone density gives them an idea whether their bones are vulnerable or whether they need more calcium or they are having enough calcium. So this experience created a confidence and an experience of seeing that evidence of, yes, bone health is important and I can check my bone health and see what is happening. Otherwise you don't see bones outside. You don't know what's happening inside. We also had an osteoporosis-free pledge that happened in Jakarta. The then governor of Jakarta was also involved, our Honorable President, who has signed a pledge to help create that awareness within Jakarta for an osteoporosis-free society. But clearly, when I asked you how many of you are aware of osteoporosis, I saw only very few hands going up. That's a reflection that we still have to do a lot in terms of creating awareness for bone health. Often what happens is when you think about brands, what comes to your mind would be a TV commercial or a press ad or a hoarding outside. But over years, that experience has changed significantly. There are different other vehicles that have come up to engage your consumers, and that engagement should result in clearly building a relationship that becomes a lasting relationship. And that lasting relationship is also an experience of product and an experience with people and an experience with evidence that I talked about. And over years, Fonterra has invested in continually keeping the whole portfolio refreshed with new flavors, new products, and new formats so that there is a constant connect with the consumer. The other element with my physical distribution point of view, availability is key. So if you walk into any store now, predominantly the hypers, the supers and things like that, you see the presence being quite compelling. And that is part of our education to the consumer to build both awareness and also talk about why an Anlene should be consumed and how that helps build bone health. So the massive media campaigns over years had multiple celebrities. The reason why we had celebrities endorsing the brand is, again, research has clearly shown that a celebrity endorsement is something which the general public is more likely to be open to listening and understanding what is being communicated, and there is a certain association that we see with celebrities. And currently our brand ambassador is Dian Sastro, and prior to that we have had multiple brand ambassadors in Indonesia who have also had a personal commitment to actually drive awareness for bone health. In fact, Michelle Yeoh, who was our brand ambassador across many markets, who was also a James Bond film heroine sometime back in the past, has a real passion for bone health, and she herself committed to the journey of creating awareness, and it was a natural partnership that we had with her, who was passionate about being part of that journey to create awareness. And today, if you see, the brand is also active on digital. All of you, I'm sure, have your Facebook accounts or Twitter or Instagrams or Line, Path, multiple Facebook platforms. And on all those platforms, this is an engagement opportunity. So that engagement is all about a conversation with the consumer. And the way we approach, in our case, is to build a conversation with our consumer. And the activations that we do are also linked to building that conversation. And the in-store branding, as I said, is part of that journey to create the awareness. When you talk about product, it's important for us, for any brand, when you go through the journey of life cycle of the brand, it's important to understand that the taste preferences keep changing, and your brand should be constantly relevant with your consumer. So research for us again pointed towards, initially though we had only powders, then we had liquids which we offered as a convenient pack. We offered multiple flavors so that we could meet the needs of a wide range of consumers. It's not only on age groups but also taste preferences. And in certain markets, today we have also for example, the yogurts in Malaysia we have, which is a new format. And in Thailand, we have multiple liquid formats, including soya milks and things like that. And there are additional benefits that are being delivered for collagen, for joints and things like that, which through innovation, the brand was constantly kept refreshed so that it was relevant for the target consumers. An arm's length reach is important for any brand. You can create a fantastic brand with multiple formats, but if you are not able to make it available to your shoppers and consumers, then you have no business. In this case, Anlin has been active across different formats, but recently, e-commerce is an emerging channel, and e-commerce is something we have invested in. We are building that so that generation like yours in future is going to do a lot of your shopping through e-commerce, and we are available there as a brand to interact with you on that platform. All these 7 mix elements that I talked about for Anlin has resulted in the brand being a #1 brand across many of the ASEAN markets, whether it is Malaysia or Indonesia or Singapore or Vietnam, Thailand, Philippines, all these countries. Indonesia is of course a clear #1 for Anlin, but even in other markets, Anlin is in a strong leadership position. And that is, again, the activation played quite a big role to create that awareness. And we have been constantly looking at how do we keep pace with the future. So when we started, I talked about osteoporosis and clearly delivering a rational need to keep strong bones. But from a rational need, today the brand has moved into an emotional space. The emotional space is all about move for a healthier lifestyle. So if I ask you, if I come and tell you that, okay, have Anlin, it gives you strong bones. So your question to me back is, so what? So what am I going to do with strong bones? Of course, my response is you will be healthy. Okay, so what could be your question again? So if you are healthy, then you can lead a life of your own. If you want to lead a life of your own, what can you can again ask me, so what? That means clearly and a healthier lifestyle gives you a much more, opportunity to enjoy whatever you like, whether it is a sport, whether it is a traveling, whether it is something else. You can do that better than others because you have a body which is strong enough and you can move compared to others who may not be able to move at a certain time of their lives. So clearly, from being a national brand of bone health, we are moving into the space of healthier lifestyle, and there is a lot more coming in that space as we move into the future.